Come out! Come out! Come out! Oh, screw you, you big green asshole!
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, it looks like I'm not the only one that was mildly disappointed with the way the Russos handled the Hulk in Avengers Endgame. Apparently, Matt McGloin is also dissatisfied with what they did with the big guy. Let's go through this article and we'll talk about a couple things here. Russo's clueless about Hulk for Avengers Endgame, and yeah, they were, and we're going to find that out. The biggest disappointment for yours truly, as well as myself, happened to be how the Hulk was using the Avengers Endgame, or not used, that is, as there seemed to be a lot of build-up in Infinity War, but the sequel saw something more akin to a goofy Shrek character than anything resembling the Avengers movies, the Gladiator from Ragnarok or the comics, and I agree with that. Previously, the co-writers on the Avengers Endgame revealed they knew nothing about the Hulk, which explains a whole lot. When they said they wrote a scene in a lab how Banner was going to splice genes to create the Professor Hulk, any fan that actually read the comics knows that during Peter David's epic run, the Professor was created as a result of the Grey Hulk, Joe Fixit, Green Hulk, dumb version, and Banner merging in Hulk number 377, along with the help of Doc Samson and hypnotism. The merging was all psychological, as the Hulk is a result of Banner getting abused by his father with various Hulk personalities coming out as a result of being exposed to the gamma radiation, which represents a different personality of Banner. Green Hulk is young, Grey Hulk is the adolescent, etc. What actually happens in the issue is that Banner and the Hulks confront the monster of their father with their dead mother, helping to convince them to merge, all going on within Banner's mind, which resulted in the formation of the smart Professor Hulk with the brains and mind of Banner, the strength and color of the Green Hulk, and the confidence and cunning of Grey Hulk. It had nothing to do with gene splicing or whatever idea Marcus and McFeely came up with. The Professor Hulk was also a butt-kicking, gun-toting, complete bad A. Nothing at all, and not what Mark Ruffalo portrayed in the movie. The CGI was awful too, and I agree with that. I felt that they dropped the ball when it came to the Hulk in this movie. It's hilarious how the Disney shill boys are tweeting and commenting at me that the Avengers Endgame Hulk is like the 90s Hulk, and it is absolutely not. And that I should read the comics. The Hulk has been one of my favorite characters since I was a young kid. I have the entire PAD Hulk run. I even asked Peter David in 2016 at the New York Comic Con if he thought he would ever see Professor Hulk, one of his favorites in the MCU, and he said no. He was right. And here's a page from that book. I remember when that came out, and it was one of the most awesome storylines in the Hulk saga. Okay, now Joe Russo offers how clueless he is about the Hulk, as well as he comments on what happened in the Avengers Endgame. Oh boy, let's get into it and what may come next. As we saw in the Avengers Endgame, the Hulk was the one to use the Infinity Gauntlet, which ended up injuring his arm. Joe Russo says it's a permanent injury. All right, we're going to talk about injuries here in a minute that he sustained. He's lost an arm. That's not coming back, Russo told the CBS television news network's pop culture site. He's damaged himself. It's permanent damage. The same way there was permanent damage with Thanos. It's irreversible. Huh? Irreversible? That's what I thought too. That's why I hated that little skinny arm. But we're going to go on. Joe Russo continues. As you may notice, his arm is skinnier. Yeah, we noticed. It's blackened, so he loses a lot of strength there. The co-director then offers ideas how the Hulk could get his arm back, including that somebody else could repair it. Or even give him a new arm. But one thing Joe Russo says right is that he has no idea, and that's true. How are you going to give the Hulk a new arm? Is it going to be a Bucky arm? Is that what it is? What happens if something causes him to transform back into a regular Banner? Then what? It's just absolutely ridiculous. Who knows? There's a lot of really smart people left, Russo said. Maybe somebody helps him repair that. Maybe somebody gives him a new arm. Who knows? I have no idea where the character goes from here. Nobody does. And this is a panel from Todd McFarlane's run on the book. And it had Wolverine fighting the Grey Hulk. And, I mean, he basically gutted him with his adamantium claws, but then the Hulk got back up. He healed. Hasn't Joe and Anthony Russo or Marcus and McFeely ever read a Hulk comic? I don't think they have. Don't they know that the Hulk has one huge mother-grabbing healing factor that even rivals that of Wolverine? The latest Hulk series has the Hulk come back from getting chopped into pieces. That's just dumb. No, dude, I hate to disagree, but the Immortal Hulk and the concepts that hold that thing is just really bad. It's really bad. Or that the madder the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets, and the faster his healing factor works. Now, I suppose you could argue that the Hulk's arm is damaged as a result of the cosmic radiation from the Infinity Gauntlet. But permanent and irreversible damage? I'm not buying that. I'm not either. And I certainly hope that one day someone comes into the MCU who is a Hulk fan and does justice to the character. I would shoot back at Joe Russo that since Spider-Man is your favorite character, something you had a hand in developing and even casting Tom Holland, how would you feel if they nerfed your favorite character? How would you feel if they bastardized all the concepts surrounding Spidey? Come on. Seriously, come on, dude. I also argue that the MCU shouldn't even bother using these characters if they are going to drastically change them so much. Guardians of the Galaxy. I actually like Guardians. I thought they improved on those guys. Because only the hardcore comic fans will notice a difference and get upset about it. I am upset. I am. While the MCU could use any name under the sun, and the Kevin Feige zombie audience wouldn't know the difference. Why go with Dance Off, Bro? Star-Lord when it could have been Dance Off, Bro. Whatever you want to call it. And for those that offer the MCU is not the comics, I say, these are comic book movies. So let's act like it. And he's got a point. And let's look at some of the memes they've been retweeting. I mean, I don't even know if he came off as cool as Shrek. I really don't. He was rather annoying and very soft. And this right here, MCU pre-Captain Marvel, rest in peace, MCU. And that's what you felt. You felt like they went at this to strip the Hulk of his toxic masculinity. And they did. Professor Hulk, he was just Bruce Banner. That's all he was. Mild, easygoing, happy Bruce Banner. There was no combination of the two characters. Professor Hulk in the comics was actually, he could actually be pretty vicious. He could. But you're not going to get a Marvel Comics version of the Hulk in the movies. You're just not. Same with all superheroes. These big movie studios, these big shot guys up there writing and making these movies, they have no idea what they're doing. You're never going to see what you've always wanted to see in those movies. Taika Waititi came very, very close, man. You'll never get a better Hulk than the one in Thor Ragnarok. But what you're never going to get a Hulk that actually opens up. You're never going to get a Hulk, the madder he gets, the stronger he gets. You're just not going to get that. You're not going to get a Hulk that can sustain an incredible amount of damage and then heal right back up from it. The Hulk in Endgame was a sad disappointment. Very sad. I mean, in Avengers Age of Ultron, Tony Stark flew the Hulk, what, several hundred feet up in the air, dropped him into a skyscraper, shot missiles into the skyscraper, and brought it down on top of him, and that still didn't faze the guy. The Russos, they do not know how to do Hulk. They don't. What you will get an overpowered Mary Sue Captain Marvel. Make no mistake about it. That's what you're going to get from here on out. You're not going to get the Hulk done right. If they would have done the Hulk right, you wouldn't have needed Captain Marvel. If they would have done Thor right, you don't need Captain Marvel. We didn't even get a Hulk Thanos rematch, which I felt ripped off coming out of there. I wanted to see that. But, all right, let's go on to one more thing out of the comics, and then I'll let you guys go. All right, we have a couple pages from issue number 398 of The Incredible Hulk. And this has Professor Hulk fighting a guy named Vector. And Vector is using his powers to flay the meat off the Hulk's bones. Or at least he's trying to anyway. And as you can see, as the fight goes on, he rips the skin off of him. He's ripping pounds and pounds of muscle. His hair, everything was gone. But here on the second page, you can see the Hulk nearly instantly healing right back up. This is a Hulk you're not going to get in the MCU. You're not going to get a Hulk that can open up and just go crazy. Joss Whedon came close to this. You're not going to get a Hulk that the madder he gets, the stronger he gets. Taika Waititi came really close. I think he actually incorporated a little bit of that into his Thor Ragnarok storyline. You're not going to get a Hulk that can just get out there and whip ass. They've done this guy down for these two movies. If Hulk was as powered as he was in Taika's movie, you wouldn't have needed Captain Marvel. We didn't get the epic Hulk Thanos rematch. We didn't get anything like that. We got a guy running around in a sweater lecturing to people. And he had a ridiculous tracksuit. What you will get from here on out are Mary Sue's lazy characters, overpowered Captain Marvel that can take on anything, impervious to everything. She doesn't need a healing factor. There's nothing cool about that. Everybody loves Wolverine, and I mean, imagine if they made a Wolverine movie and they didn't give him his healing factor, or took away his adamantium. And that's what they've done to the Hulk here. I hope things aren't going to go the way people feared they're going to go, but I don't have any faith in that anymore. Welcome to the new MCU, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, and take care.